and welcome to Storytime with George and Amber. I'm Amber, and today I'm going to be reading I Am Abraham Lincoln by Brad Meltzer, illustrated by Christopher Alpus. I am Abraham Lincoln. When I was little, even young boys were expected to work on the farm and had animals for food. I preferred to read. I also loved animals. When I was 10 years old, I saw a group of birds playing with some turtles. But when I got closer, I realized they weren't playing. They were taking hot coals and putting them on top of the turtles to see what would happen. To them, it was harmless fun. In that moment, I could have just walked away. But when you're 10 years old, it's hard to do the right thing, but someone has to. Those boys let the turtle go. Soon after, I wrote one of my first essays about hurting animals is wrong. That may not seem to a big deal back then, but most kids and even adults didn't know how to write. In fact, the state of India was so new, schools weren't even built yet. I went to school for barely a year total, but that didn't stop me. I used chalk, practicing writing alphabet on the trees. I even wrote in the dirt of the cornfield. When it came to learning, my best teachers were simply books. I loved books so much. When I walked 6 miles to get one, I'd read while my horse was resting and while waiting in the line at the local store. And one of my favorite positions was my feet up on a tree. Before long, I had to respect every book in the neighborhood, from the Bible to Aesop's Fables to Robin Crusoe. But my favorite book is about George Washington. I'd even copy my favorite parts and pieces of work. When I was 21 years old, I moved to Illinois. Then I met a group of boys known as the Carly's Groove Boys. Everyone in town knew they were bullies. I didn't like bullies, but I was a new guy. When they challenged me, I didn't have much of a choice. Today, some may call it a fight, but it was really a wrestling match. Me against their leader, Jack Armstrong. Back then, the rule was once you grabbed your opponent, you couldn't break your hold. But Jack did, so he could grab my leg and send me flying. I wasn't mad I lost. Everyone loses sometimes. What got me upset? That he cheated. Within seconds, they all surrounded me. They were waiting for me to come back down or lose my cool. Instead, I confidently told them they knew I meant it. Sometimes the hardest fights don't reveal a winner, but they do reveal character, especially when you're fighting for something you believe in. Still, not every struggle brought a victory. Years later, I saw a group of slaves chained together on a boat in the Ohio River. Back then, not all people were free. Some were slaves. Just because of the color of their skin, they were forced to work. Without pay, they were treated terribly. I never forgot the sight of that boat, but it didn't do anything that day. But for many years, a memory of the people haunted me. I was still thinking about them when I became president. I lost 4 elections before I got the big job. 4. America was facing one of the greatest fights in our history, the Civil War. One side wanted to let slaves go free. The other side, if I had turned my head and looked away, I would avoid the fight. But I learned that things in life was when somebody needed help, I wasn't so good at looking away. The Civil War lasted longer than anyone thought. The fighting took a terrible toll. People on our side were ready to give up, and we held a big event in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The main speaker gave me a speech that lasted nearly 2 hours. I gave a speech that lasted 2 minutes, and I only used 271 words. The most important 5 words I used. Soon after, I helped pass a law that ended slavery. In America, it freed those people. Then we ended the Civil War. As a result, we didn't just bring these people together. United States of America, we've proven that this government of people, by the people, and for people who'd be dedicated to freedom and justice. In life, strength can take many forms, but there's nothing quite as strong as standing up for someone who needs it. No matter where you're from or how little you have, one thing that can never be taken away from you is your voice. Whenever you find something you believe in, use your voice, and when you see injustice, speak louder than you've spoken before. And when you do, it'll never be forgotten. I am Abraham Lincoln. I will never stop fighting for what's right. And I hope you'll remember that when you speak your mind and speak for others, there's no more powerful way to be heard. And that's the end of the book. See you next time on Storytime with George and Amber. Bye.